Good day, everybody. Connor McIver here with the Paris 911 team. We are with RE/MAX Realtors, RE/MAX of Santa Clarita, and I wanted to talk a little bit about just one of the resources that we utilize to bring more qualified buyers to the sellers that we represent out there in the real estate field. Realtor.com, as you very well know, I'm sure you've heard of it. It is quite big on the internet, and in fact, when we see pushing 90% of the buyers out there looking for real estate, their first contact is going to be Realtor.com, above and beyond a lot of the other real estate marketing sites elsewhere that are out there. We would actually be silly not to invest a substantial portion of our marketing monies into Realtor.com, so we do. However, every listing that's advertised for sale is put on Realtor.com. Where we put our money is, in fact, in the portion of Realtor.com that's going to take each and every listing that we secure and we put out on the market. It's going to showcase it. So it's going to show up before other properties, and in addition to that, there's a lot of other bells and whistles that are allowed when you're talking about having a listing showcased. You'll see a lot more information on that particular home, and that's what buyers are looking for. Whenever we're listing a property for sale, we always look at it as if we're going to capture the buyer. So that's kind of the mission with Realtor.com, but it's not the only resource that we utilize. We might have the informational approach, but we also are very transparent when it comes to putting listings out there. So I see proof in the pudding whenever we do advertise listings, whether they're ours or other agents. We see that we, in fact, are bringing a lot of the buyers that they are missing. So with our own listings, we are bringing a lot of buyers for our sellers as well and making those introductions. Whenever we take a listing here at the Paris 911 team, I approach it from that regard, where I'm going to find the buyer. So if I'm approaching it in that manner, I will put that property every place I possibly can, and it's not as simple as just giving this to somebody else and say, I'll pay you to do it. They can never do it like me, because it's my name on the line, and I don't know if I could ever afford someone to pitch a listing the way I would. So that's just from my mouth to your ear, so enjoy that. As far as on the internet goes, this is probably no big secret to you. However, they did ask people as far as, would you rather see, or do you think the internet is becoming more important than print advertising? And booming 94.3% said yes, and the 4.7% reported no. As far as print advertising goes, we do have two publications that we utilize when listing or selling our sellers' listings, and they go to a massive database that's tied in with our website. We utilize social media, blogging, and a lot of other items on the internet to, in fact, pitch each and every listing that we have. We're members of a few social networking groups, which is important because those agents also have buyers, and I want those agents to bring those buyers to my sellers' listings. When you look at the snapshot between 2001 and 2008, you see that there was a massive increase of buyers that basically found their home that they purchased now. Not just viewed the home, but actually found the home that they purchased on the internet, up from 8 to 32%. Here, you're talking about sign advertising, print ads, and internet buyers. You can see that internet surpassed both signage and also print ads, just totally climbing a lot farther than I think anyone ever expected. When you're talking about Realtor.com's exposure for our listings when we put them on there, you'll see that there's just a huge amount of unique visitors that go on to Realtor.com versus all the other real estate sites. However, having said that, I just don't limit our resources to Realtor.com. I have our resources apply to all of the rest of these sites as well. So whenever people are looking for real estate, I don't want to miss it for our seller. If in fact there's a buyer looking for something that's for our seller, I want that buyer to find it on something that I built, something that we put out there into the world. As far as the audiences go, what's really important when we're selling a home, I want the buyer to be qualified or the buyer to be pre-approved. That's very important to me because there's too many things that are amiss out there in the world of real estate. So whenever they're looking at Realtor.com, that gives me an additional opportunity to do that when they contact me about the listing. I'm not going to run some stranger into my seller's house without doing my due diligence, nor am I going to take somebody I just met over the telephone over to my seller's house either, because, and no agent should. They should honor their seller enough where they're pre-qualifying everybody that they bring in. That's very, very important these days. As far as on Realtor.com, of course, whenever I showcase one of my listings, there's a lot of other data that's available for that buyer. So they're going to be able to get neighborhood information. They're going to be able to look at different maps, different lists of community locations, restaurants, entertainment, multiple photos, of course. They're going to have information about the schools. And as far as open houses go, they'll have information on open houses when, in fact, we are going to do one. You know, without all of the, you see all the white houses here and then you have the blue house. It's interesting, that's pretty much the way it is because not very many agents pay the price of admission to have their listing showcased, so yours will stick out like a very attractive thumb, not a sore thumb. On Realtor.com, this is, you know, the system that we utilize with the showcase listings, and you will actually see through the results. There is some interesting things out there. Whenever I do the showcase listings, this is what it's going to be more visible to buyers, and also they are going to send those leads directly to me so I can personally respond and advise you. The other thing that it does is it also gives me data on who's looking at the property and what they're looking at. I can upload 25 very large photos. I can load up video tours and, of course, promote the open houses. On the right of this particular slide, the final slide, you're going to see the number of hits in volume per month. And this is what I also send to my sellers. And our sellers see this, and it shows how many visits the property is getting when I have it showcased on Realtor.com. And we do that with every listing. We don't leave any listing out of it. We do upload maximum of everything in there. And I hope this did reach you well. Again, with our team and our advertising real estate, this is merely one part of it, one particular resource that we utilize. There are so many more that we put together. I'd be more than happy to meet with you or a member of my team meet with you, whether at our office, via webinar or email or telephone, and explain to you how we do it. I am Connor McIver. It's important that you get great service when it comes to any service industry, and that's what I believe we've developed into offering here at RE/MAX of Santa Clarita and Paris and I and our Paris 911 team. Thanks for listening, and be safe, and we'll talk to you soon.